Hello everyone, welcome back to the Safa Chat Scripts. So as we are going on the OOPS concepts, so today we'll talk about encapsulation. This is the one of the most important topic in OOPS. What is encapsulation? So encapsulation we also known as the data binding. Data binding is encapsulation provides you data hiding plus control access. So encapsulation, one of the fundamental concept of OOPS, it meaning it means wrapping data and code together into the single unit. Single unit means class. Like it will wrap methods and variables into the class that restricts to direct access to the data. For example, if you have a class A and CLA class A, and in this class you have some variable like int A and some method. So this it provide you to restrict the data access from outside by using encapsulation. So this is the basic thing. So in why encapsulation is important. So whenever you wanted to restrict unauthorized accesses, provide control over data information modification, and the make code more flexible and maintainable, and then helps to achieve abstraction. Encapsulation is also helps to achieve abstraction. Now let's do the main thing, how we are going to achieve this encapsulation in Java. So basically what to do, first always declare a variable as a private. Suppose you have a class, as we have already discussed. Let me create a class A. In this class you have a int A. So always create this int A is private. With the help of the private, you can achieve this encryption. The second thing is provide public getter and setter. Because if you create any data type, any variable as a private, that you cannot access outside of the class. This is the restriction by a private keyword. But if you wanted to access the this key, this variable, then you need to create getter and setters. So you need to create getter setters as a public. Then use those methods to access and update value. So if you wanted to access the suppose int A, so you can access via only getter and setter. So with the help of getter setters, you can access the access the values. Now, what's the key points that we have remember while doing this encapsulation thing? First, the most important, variables is private that we have already discussed. Methods should be public, and direct access is not allowed. If you wanted to access this int A directly, it will not allow. Like suppose you have a class A and you created a object of class A equal new A, and you wanted to access with the help of A, then it is not working. Because with the help, suppose ab dot a, with the help of this object, if you wanted to access this keyword, you cannot. This variable you cannot access. Now access via methods. So methods is like getters and setters. So when in encapsulation, we provide two methods, getters and setters. Getters to get the data of that variable, and setters to set the data into the variable. So this is a how getter setters works. Now in one line short summary, if you talk about encapsulation, it says hiding data and showing only necessary details using methods. Suppose in a class you have multiple data, but you just wanted to show user few data, then it will help to achieve this information. Now let's see with the help of example or proper diagram. So encapsulation, data hiding, control access. Suppose you have a class student and you are provided two names, string name and int age. Now with the help of set name, get name, this is getters, setter, and get is set is. With the help of this getter setter, you can access in the main class. So suppose we have another class main, and here we have created a student object s. With the help of object s, we can set a name as a Rahul, and with the help of set age, we are setting the age 20. Now you have set this variable into this variable values. Now if you wanted to get this as output, you just s dot get name, s dot get age. With the help of getters, these are the setters, and these are the getters. So with the help of getters and setters, you can only access directly. You cannot access this data in encapsulation of thing. Let This is all about theoretical part. Benefits, as we know, security, because no one can access without getter setters, and no one can update the things directly. Control, like if you wanted to update few any logic in the setters, so this logic always work, no one can change that. Maintainable, easy maintainable in the class, in the single class you can maintain everything. Abstraction is like you can achieve this abstraction via encapsulation. You know what as means by abstraction is says you need to write uh, definition in the class but implementation in their own class. So this is the abstraction, how we achieve with the encapsulations. Now let's talk about implementation. So here I have a created class I have a created class encapsulation. Now let me create two variables, as we have already discussed: private string name, then private int age. Now we need to create a getters and setters for that. There's a two way. Either you can create like this, right click and generate, and then you can create getters and setters. Okay, if you wanted to create like this, you will get both getter and setter here, get and set. But if you wanted to create by using on code, using swam len public void, then set name, that is setter for set name, and here we want to pass string name and return this, provide this dot uh, this dot name equal to name. So you know why we are using this here, because whatever argument will pass from this set, it will store into the current name. This is always initiate the current variable. So this is how we can create a setter. Let me create the same setter for age as well. Age, then int age, then age and age. So this is, we have created the setters. Now we wanted to create a getters. So same thing, we'll going to create getter public string get name and return name. Likewise, we'll going to create a getter for age. Okay. Sorry, let me age. Now int and age. So what it will do, it will return the this value, whatever value available here, it will return this. Now this is all about getter and setters. So if you wanted to apply some logic over the your data variables, it's called control over the data. So suppose you want if a age is greater than 0, then age. So this is this logic we can apply on the setter, not getter. Getter is only to return the data. Let me go to the setters. So now like this, It will work like this. Okay, so what will happen? It you can provide your own logic to control over data. Now, if you are going if you are going to provide a edge in negative, it will not gives this to set this into the your edge. So if you want to to set any value here, then it should be positive or equal to 0, because positive or equal to 0, or you can say positive only, because you have already applied the logic. If you are going to provide less than 0, it will not go in through this, and it will not set this value here. So that's how we can access control over the data. We can control over the data. Now we have created this encapsulation, and we have already applied all the logics, that all the rules. First is always private, and the getter setter should be public. This is the two main rules that you have to remember. Now let me extend this. Extend encapsulation. Now let me create an object of encapsulation. E equal new encapsulation. Now you cannot directly access the name. Okay, because it will throw error, because this is private. Name is the private access that you cannot uh, access here. Private members we cannot access outside of the class. Now with the help of setter and getter we can use. Let me set the name. Suppose Chat scripts. Now in the second we have set the age. So age is suppose 22. Now how this is, we have set the data into those variable, name and age. Okay, now if you want to get, so sysout e dot get name, then let me go sysout e dot get age. If you execute this, now you'll get to see output as a Chat scripts and 22. So that's how we achieve encapsulation in the Java. In encapsulation, let me re-summarize it again. In encapsulation, what we do, we keep shape of a data by using private, and with the help of getter setters, we provide the user to update and access the data. But if you wanted to control over the data, you can as well control over the data with the encapsulation, because if you provide any logic here, this logic will always apply the user's input. User cannot modify this. Okay, so this is the main reason why we use getters and setters. If I talk about the real life example, so I think you always used bank account, or you know let me just give me a second. I hope you always use bank account or at ATM. So in the ATM bank account, your balance is always private. You cannot directly see the balance, but you can access via different methods. Like you can work on the balance via deposit, via withdraw, and get balance. With the deposit, you can add, because you don't know the exact back end of that. You can just deposit or you withdraw, but back end it will already uh, process by their self. And if you wanted to show the balance, get balance. Likewise, what we did. So here what we did get name and set name. This is a simple example. If you wanted to set any name, you can set. If you wanted to get any name, you can get. So that's how the encapsulation works. In the real life example is bank account is the best example of the real life to check the encapsulation and how encapsulation works. So this is all about encapsulation. Thank you very much. Let me know if you have anything. Please do subscribe. Bye bye.